So take us into this program, this F-35 program. It's a stealth fighter, as I understand it. It's been going for some time. Just how expensive is it?
Yeah, so this is Lockheed's, the only fifth-generation stealth fighter in production for a U.S. contractor. It's about $12 billion in next year's revenue for Lockheed Martin, and clearly a huge driver of their future revenue and profits. So it's going to be a focus, I would think, of the President-elect's focus on cost concerns and profitability at defense contractors.
And it is pretty expensive. There have been cost overruns on this. There's been a lot of complaining about it and some problems with an engine fire and things like that. Has this been a successful program overall?
I would say over the past number of years, there definitely have been cost overruns and still a cost concern, although I would say they've been improved recently. The most recent contract, about $100 million per aircraft, and so trending in a positive direction. But you could obviously argue that there's still some fluff, if you will, for room for better pricing in the program, and that's going to come at the expense of likely profitability for Lockheed Martin in their most important program.
David, you know what's remarkable about this? You see the Dow at an all-time high. You see some of these industrial stocks rallying. Yes. What's clear to me, though, from President-elect Donald Trump, if you've got a government contract, be worried, because he's coming after you in terms of costs. Douglas, I just wonder how much research you've done over the last month or so to look at some of these companies, to see how big some of these government contracts are with the United States, beyond Lockheed Martin, beyond, say, Boeing, for that matter, as well. And have a look at these companies and these stocks and say, you know what? He's coming after you in terms of costs. He wants these contracts lower.
There are a lot of big contracts that are coming over the next number of years, and they're going to continue to ramp up aggressively, especially into the 2020s. You have the $80 to $100 billion Northrop B-21 program. You have the Ohio-class replacement submarine, which is a General Dynamics and Huntington Ingalls. That's estimated to be in $100 billion as well. So I think clearly things that are over the horizon in terms of production and spending are going to be a clear focus for President-elect to take a hard look at in his administration.
Yeah, and Douglas, I really wonder if we don't have to take a whole new look at government contracting, because the way you buy things from the government is very different for a private business. And this is, after all, businessmen coming in with other businessmen to run the country. Is this really going to pose a real challenge for government contracting overall?
Well, I think you have to differentiate. So there's cost plus contracting, where the government takes on the risk, and the government contractors are reimbursed for the early risk of the program. And then they move to what is called a fixed price contract, where the profitability and more risk falls on the contractors. So I think, yeah, a lot of that is going to have to be dissected over the next number of years to figure out what programs are key and where the money is going to need to be spent.